I am very pleased this afternoon to introduce to you and to the people of Ohio, Ohio's next Secretary of State, Maryellen OShaughnessy.
Thank you so much, Governor Strickland, for that kind introduction and for your leadership on behalf of the people of Ohio. I look forward to campaigning with you over the course of the next 9 months. Kind of like having a baby. I would first like to, of course, thank my family. Wave, family. Officials. I see several out here who I could call family. Yay! Thanks for coming out to join us on this important and snowy day. I stand before you as your candidate and Ohio's next Secretary of State. A World War II veteran and first-generation American, and the care that she took in displaying the family's stars and stripes on the 4th of July. I also remember the early mornings on Election Day as she left the house in the dark to put in 12+ hours of work serving our community as a poll worker. I remember, too, my father, also a World War II veteran, and how proud I was when he stood up upon the death of his beloved older brother, who was currently in office as a state senator, and said, "I will serve." I think, too, of my own experience in that defining moment when I was first called to serve by running for elective office in order to bring the voters in Franklin County electoral choices when they were in danger of having none. Now, we're at the cusp of a pivotal election for the future of Ohio. And I say, here I am. I'm ready to serve. The Secretary of State's office is one that touches all aspects of an Ohioan's life. The Secretary of State assures the integrity of our democracy, and by running elections in a free, open, and fair way, the Secretary compels all elected leaders to put the best interests of our citizens first. I am running for Secretary of State because I am passionate about our democracy, and I want Ohio to continue to have free, open, and fair elections. I know that both this race and this office will be a challenge. But it's a challenge I'm ready for. As a Columbus City Council member, I committed myself to providing excellent services, listening to neighborhood concerns, and providing solutions and resources necessary to keep our community thriving. I have always believed that in order to serve the people who elected me, I needed to know them, to sit down with them, to hear about the challenges that they face. I will remember that it is you, the people of Ohio, who I will serve as Secretary of State. As County Clerk, I bring to the Secretary of State's race a wealth of leadership experience. I oversee the work of 230+ wonderful people and a budget of $12.5 million. I also control a vast system of records, and my demonstrated commitment to the transparency of public records, responsiveness of government, and accountability of its leaders will serve me well as Secretary of State. As a small business owner, I understand the challenges Ohio businesses face, as well as the frustrations they often have when dealing with our government. The Secretary of State has the important responsibility of leading the Business Services Division, from which companies are granted the authority to do business in Ohio. As we recover from this global recession, it is vital that this division run smoothly with service in mind to enable job growth and fiscal stability, making the Secretary of State's office a partner with Ohio's employers. As Secretary of State, I will draw from my 12 years of local government experience to guide me. I will work with Ohio's 88 county boards of election and will continue improving election administration, encouraging more citizen participation, and guaranteeing the integrity of Ohio's elections. I understand that complicated rules are impediments to election administration and will work with the legislature to simplify these rules. We have seen how poorly elections have been run in Ohio's past. We remember lines that were too long, machines that were broken, poll workers who were undertrained, and how registrations weren't even processed if the form was on the wrong paperweight. And shamefully, we remember how a certain Secretary of State, who should have been a referee in Ohio's elections, was coaching one of the teams. When it came to running fair elections, Ohio was the laughingstock of the nation. But not anymore. I will continue Secretary Jennifer Bruner's work of running elections in a free, open, and fair way. We've come so far. We cannot afford to slip backwards. I want to see us move forward and make our election system stronger than ever. I want to see greater participation and more civic awareness about ballot initiatives and candidates, as well as more awareness of how and when to vote. I want to enhance programs targeting increased voter participation among Ohioans of all ages, particularly young people, Claire. And I want to restore public confidence in our ballot initiative process and make sure petition circulators are not deceiving the public as they gather signatures. I want to make it possible for citizens to securely register to vote on the internet while avoiding the threat of fraud. I want to assure applicants for driver's licenses and services that they will be registered to vote unless they opt out. I want to see apportionment reform that makes competitiveness not just a goal, but a requirement. I want to see communities of interest held together and minority representation protected. And I want to see transparency and citizen participation in the process. When I am elected Secretary of State, and with your help, it will happen. It will happen. I will work every day to administer elections in a free, open, and fair way. Together, we can work to keep Ohio's election system one that we can all be proud of. I ask you to join me in this effort by visiting my new website, www.MaryellenForOhio.com. It is going to be such a privilege to run statewide with this talented Democratic ticket. I want to thank you all so much for coming today. Thank you.